We've got Galen Raymer with us today. Galen farms with 3 of his boys at Goshen, Indiana, organic dairy operation. They do a really good job. He works with Galen Nisley at Honeyville Feed in that area on his fertilizer. This past year, Galen found something that kind of revolutionized weed control for their farm. So I'll let him tell you about it.
Yeah, I farm there in Goshen, northern Indiana, with 3 of my boys. 9 years ago, 2 of them really got involved, and they took on a bunch of land and it turned their operation. I wasn't used to farming like that or that big, but it takes acres and cows to take on families. So there's 4 families in the farm. And 71, when I was 11, I remember getting off the school bus and Dad tells me to get the chores done because he wants to go to a Wonder Bike meeting. And I wondered what that was, and he said, well, we're going to find out. And it was organic farming. And he was lucky I liked to drive tractor because he put me on a rotary hoe, and I rotary hoed corn until I was sick. But Dad always told me it's not necessary to have weeds in an organic farm. And a year ago, I was glad my dad didn't see my corn. We just got our tail kicked. We had wet conditions and foxtail. We had foxtail so bad in our beans that you couldn't see the beans. And I headed down the field with the combine, and finally, at the other end, I looked in the hopper to see if I had anything, and I was getting beans, so I felt a little better. But anyhow, it's probably been 6, 7 years ago, a friend of my son come out from Pennsylvania, wanted us to be Einbach dealers. And we looked at the price of an Einbach cultivator, and we threw it in the trash and said, that's ridiculous. We buy $2,500 cultivators, and yeah, it worked pretty good. But you can see there on the
pointer in the center circle. Yep.
It's got coulters there, and that is 3 inches. It's 1.5 inches on each side of the row. And it's got electric eye on it, but we did find out, we tried to cultivate when the corn was at the right height, but we were so dry it couldn't pick up the eye couldn't pick up the corn good enough. We had to quit. But yeah, we can run about 5 miles an hour and 1.5 inches corn, and we can. The shovels are flat on it. It doesn't throw any dirt, but it fluffs it up and stuff. And those coulters are so close together, a little stone or a clod of dirt plugs them up. And it was a good thing that I did fight the boys when they wanted to go to GPS, but they put auto guidance on the tractor, and they thought it really was a good thing. But I'd hate to run the cultivator without it because it was so dusty. I would look out back all the time while we was running because it would plug up a row, and you'd take out corn for like 20, 30 feet before you could see it. I think there's a...
If you advance it, it'll start, yeah.
You can see, not sure if it's on this video or next one, but it will throw out a little corn. It's got weeders on the back. It cuts down like 1.5 inches, 2 inches, and then when I seen the video back here with the competitor, why this one doesn't handle any residue. I mean, we had a field of beans we had to quit on because we just couldn't get through it. There's the the camera on the track, on the cultivator, shifts the cultivator back and forth. And that monitor right there, when you see that black line, if it's showing above 50%, there it's showing like a 98. If that line is up, why, it just stays right on the row. It's just, yeah, I just can't believe how it works. Here you can see when I come down through it, you can see a stalk will fly out. This corn's a little taller than we like to run across, but since we have the cultivator, we don't rotate it all. There you can see that. We don't rotate it all after the corn's up. My boys were telling me for a long time I'm hurting my population, which, yeah, I'll have to admit it, but then through that, is that the last one, Ken?
I think so, yeah.
We bought an electric weed zapper too, and we're really excited about that. We got a lot of giant ragweed pressure, and we don't have mare's tail or water hemp yet. But the giant ragweeds, as soon as they're above the beans, you hit them with that electric zapper, and it's just like hitting them with Roundup. I mean, they're just gone. And it was kind of exciting because in my community, I take a lot of flack about being an organic farmer, and some of them are my blood cousins. And we got to zap some of their conventional beans, and it was really fun sending the bill, but I apologize. We're cousins, so we give each other grief. But anyhow, yeah, I guess if you have boys coming on, and let them go. I mean, they got young minds, they're excited, and I'm 64, and I guess I'm getting tired, but you know, to me, $1 million debt doesn't look to them like it does to them, because I know I don't have 30 more years, but some people do. But anyhow, yeah, that's our operation, and it's kind of fun to step back and let the boys take care of the seed men and the fertilizer men, and I go out to shop and paint tractors for my hobby, so thank you.
So I'm a dealer for Hodson Bickler in Texas. Where's your, here we go. Here's a tine weeder in action. Blind cultivation, kind of using it like a rotary hoe. These guys, this is actually a video from the distributor in Michigan. They use a camera hitch with the tine weeder. They want to stay on rows. They're on 22-inch centers, so they've got an 88-foot tine weeder going there. They can cover some ground. They're pulling it, you know, 8-9 miles an hour, kind of like running a sprayer almost. 88 feet at a time. They run 2 of those rigs, and they have a third one as a backup. If things get bad or they get in a hurry. They've also got a camera hitch on a cultivator here, Hodson Bickler. It's Matt riding on the cultivator to get a video. That's kind of like Galen was saying, there's a 3.5-inch gap there. They're pulling that cultivator 6-ish miles an hour. They figure that saves them an extra cultivator, an extra machine, because they can go that fast and not pull the crop out. There's finger weeders on that cultivator. The Hodson Bickler cultivators are modular. You can pull shovels off with a stub with 1 bolt. So you can change the configuration of that very quickly. I'm also a dealer for Gregor Basson plows. A war plow is still a viable tool. Don't use it 3 times a year. Come up with a system, come up with a plan. Our main thing here with weed control is come up with a plan ahead of time. Don't wait till May to decide what you're going to do for weed control. Work with one of us here, or Early Bird, or whoever. But get a plan together, come up with some contingencies. What do I do if I get 5 inches of rain? What do I do if something breaks, or come up with a plan, think it through ahead, maybe make some plans with some neighbors that have the same kind of equipment, try to figure it out ahead. I have a prop over here if I have just a second. Weed control correlates to big bucks, conventional or organic. We have to get rid of the weeds. We can't grow weeds and crops both. So we have to decide. With that, I'll give it back to Gary. Thank you, folks.